Welcome back to Yvette's View, where we continue to vibe high on good high vibrations. And it's another Tasting Tuesday, and I wanted to present to you one of my favorite dishes once I did my little discovery in making different dishes that were traditional and changing it to more plant-based. I would like to present my version, my plant-based version of fried rice, and instead of using rice, I chose to use quinoa. I was pleasantly surprised that it came out tasting just as if I had used actual rice. And if you are someone who likes quinoa, then it shouldn't bother you that much. But if you're not, you can continue to use rice if you want to. But I chose to use quinoa in this particular dish. And of course, I've got mushrooms in this. That's the chicken or whatever, pork, whatever you want to use as your meat substitute. But of course, mine is always going to be mushrooms. And fresh ginger is in this dish. Onion powder, garlic powder. I've got shallots. I've got fresh garlic, fresh bell pepper, and ginger. So those are the sauteed veggies, and then of course I just chopped up some broccoli and put that in there as the vegetable. And of course I have the green scallion on top as a topping and red bell pepper flakes. I also used my mushroom seasoning, a little garlic salt, put that as well. I did use a plant-based chicken bouillon in the sauteing of the veggies. And and then of course you have your sesame oil. And I sauteed everything in avocado oil. But then of course I added the sesame oil on top for that Asian flavor. And oh my gosh, you guys, this dish, the first time I made it ever, I was so pleasantly surprised that I said, I'm gonna have to make this again. And and I forgot smoked paprika, because I'm always gonna put a little smoked paprika in most of my dishes. Just kind of know that as well. And I was just surprised, guys, that it came out good. And I was like, whoa, this actually tastes like fried rice. If I had got it from an Asian market or an Asian takeout. So let me present to you my version of fried rice. This is it. This is what it looks like. Red pepper flakes in there, and those green, and then the broccoli. There's my mushrooms. And like I said, the first time I made this dish, man, I lost my mind. Like, oh my God, this tastes good. But why wouldn't it? Because it's all about the seasonings, right? And so if you season this correctly to your palate, to your taste, the next day it's gonna be even better. Because of course you cook the rice or quinoa prior to, then you fry the rice and or quinoa in your oil and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry. And I do have a vegan egg, a plant-based egg in here as well, made from mung beans. Cannot forget that, because that's most important, at least for me. I'd like to have that eggy flavor in there as well, mixed up in there, but the ginger for me steals the show. And I will say, I have come to realize that this tastes just as good cold as if I had it heated. If it was nice and hot and cold, really hot and heated. I like it hot too. I was pleasantly surprised that when I was just tasting it before I heated it up, it actually tasted really good. And I was like, ooh, I can eat this cold. So if I get lazy and don't want to warm it up, I can eat it cold too. And I just thought that was amazing for me, because it's a dual type of dish where typically you would eat this hot, right? You're always eating fried rice hot. And to come to find out that this tastes good cold as well, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. Because there are days when I don't feel like warming up, and for me to be able to pull it out the refrigerator and just eat it as is, and still the flavor is still just mwah, chef's kiss delicious. I love that. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna taste this in front of you, and yeah, let's see how I do here. Because I like to kind of get a little bit of broccoli with the quinoa and the green onion in there. Oh, gotta have it all in there, family. Gotta have it all in there. I hate that that's hanging out. Also, you can use, they use soy sauce, but I use the liquid amino instead of soy sauce. So, but whatever your flavor card you like, you can use either or. But since I don't do soy, liquid amino is my alternative, and or coconut amino, which is even a little bit better because some of the liquid amino does have a little bit of soy in it, but it's not as much that I'm aware of at this time. But anyway, this dish, it could be a main course dish or it could be a side dish. I choose to use it as a main course. Oh my God, let me just take one more bite, guys. I gotta stop because it's good, and I think the liquid amino that has absorbed, along with the sesame oil that's in there, absorbs in the quinoa, so I can literally just taste that in the food. It's like it makes it enriched, it makes it moist, and the flavors just dance all through. And like I said, the ginger is the showstopper of this particular dish as well for me, because I do like to have it a little bit more gingery. So I'm gonna have, if that's a word, I put a little bit more ginger in it so that that can kind of stand out just a little bit, not overly, but just enough for you to be like, that's ginger in there. So with that being said, family, I hope you enjoyed watching me try this dish. One of my favorites that I was able to recreate for myself. And with that being said, family, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you again for coming by, spending a little time with me to watch me taste some of these different plant-based dishes that I've made. And then sometimes I will present some plant-based food that I've eaten out, as I've already done once. I definitely want to give some different reviews on plant-based restaurants that's here in the OKC. And if you're ever in the city and you're plant-based or want to try some of their food, I can make suggestions of where to go, because I've been there and I've tasted the food, and I can kind of give you what my thoughts are. Because if it's just as good as how I make my food, because my flavor card does not decline. My flavor card is on point, and I get that from my daddy. So with that being said, family, thanks again for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit all so that you are notified every time I post a video. And always continue to vibe high on good high vibrations. And even when you're cooking, that also makes your dish tastes just as good, because when you cook with the intention of love, it comes out in your flavor.